Hey guys, welcome back to my puzzle bubble. So today we are going to be checking out the newly released gradient puzzle from Cloudberries and also comparing this version to their iconic best-selling one. Now, I do just want to start by saying that this video is not sponsored in any way by Cloudberries. I purchased both of these puzzles with my own money, and if you've seen my puzzle collection video, then you will have noticed that I genuinely do own a lot of Cloudberries puzzles because they are my favorite UK-based puzzle company. I have absolutely no affiliation with them. I just genuinely wanted to check out this latest release with you guys. So if you are into gradient jigsaw puzzles in any capacity, then there is a very, very high chance that you will have come across this puzzle from Cloudberries. An even higher chance if you're from the UK, of course. I don't know the exact stats, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is probably one of the best-selling gradient puzzles on the market right now. It's just a really, really well-produced jigsaw puzzle with a nice, bright, fun gradient, and it's nice and easy to put together as well. I have redone this puzzle countless times in the years that I've owned it, and it's definitely one of my go-to puzzles that is nice and easy and simple to put together. So when I saw that Cloudberries was coming out with a brand new version of their gradient puzzle, I knew I just had to give it a try. So this new gradient puzzle is actually one puzzle from their new collection that they just dropped, and their new collection is called Small Batch. So on the website, they advertise the Small Batch branded puzzles as having this brand new wraparound box design, as you can clearly see is very different to their traditional box. And they also advertise a new unique puzzle cut as well. And they do claim that there are going to be no false fits. So clearly the very first thing you notice when comparing these two puzzles is just how vastly different the box designs are. Cloudberries has kind of become known for their very aesthetic grey box designs, and you can see the sides, they all match really, really nicely in a collection. And this new box is the complete opposite to that. I mean, just looking at the box, there is absolutely no mistaking what is going to be inside here. It is a complete gradient covered box. There is no writing on the actual top, but all around the edges, it does say Gradient Small Batch by Cloudberries. What I do really like about the writing and the fact that it's on all four sides of the puzzle is that you can kind of pick what colors are front facing in your collection. You can see that as you turn it, you get two different colors from the gradient. Obviously, I'm gonna have this side displayed in my collection because it's pink and purple. So moving on to the inside of the brand new gradient puzzle box. As we dive into this puzzle, you are gonna notice another very, very big difference, something that I've never ever seen from a puzzle company before. And that is that the puzzle pieces actually come in this recyclable brown bag instead of the industry standard like plastic wrapping. I mean, it's just a really, really nice touch. We love a brand that's environmentally conscious, and on the brown paper packaging, it says, "Enjoy this moment, beautiful pieces inside." So other than the brown paper bag that the puzzle pieces come in, you also get this really cute puzzle postcard. It says Small Batch by Cloudberries on the back, and there is a QR discount code. It says you can scan that for a discount on your next puzzle purchase. And the last thing in the box is a fold-out poster of the gradient puzzle. So I guess if you really, really loved gradients, you could display this. It is huge. Look how big this is. You could display this somewhere if you wanted to. Okay, so let's take Cloudberries' advice. We're gonna enjoy this moment and open up to see these beautiful pieces that are inside. I have genuinely been waiting. I have not opened this bag so far, so this will be my genuine first impression of the pieces. Okay, so my initial first impression of the pieces are that they are very, very different to the standard Cloudberries. First off, it's hard not to be distracted by the crazy, funky puzzle cut that's going on. There are just so many strange and unusual pieces within this There are some pieces that straight up look like they could be from a circular puzzle. It's just a really, really unique puzzle cut. I don't think I've seen one quite like this before, so I'm really, really excited to see how I get on with this. The other thing that I am noticing is that there are a lot of what we call freebies, so a lot of pieces that have come already attached. Weirdly, a lot of the freebies seem to be within the green puzzle family. I don't know if there was like a manufacturing error when it got to the green pieces or not. I have no idea why that is. The next difference that I'm noticing is the color of the puzzle pieces on the back. So I do have a piece from the standard original Cloudberries gradient here, and I will show you a close-up, but the original is more of a light gray, and this new design has a bit more of a bluish gray to it. It's not quite as blue as like the Ravensburger puzzle pieces, but it's definitely a difference to what they normally produce. But realistically, there's only one way to truly compare this brand new design to the original, and that is to put it together. So the sorting process for a gradient puzzle is the simplest sorting process out there. You literally just sort by color. So give me a second to do that and I will be right back. Okay, so I just spent 23 minutes sorting out all the different colors into their various sections, and within that I did sort out the edges separately just so I can make the next step a little bit easier. The sorting process was nice and easy, as it always is with a gradient puzzle. I will say that I did find some more of the freebies within the other colors as well. I think it was just initially I was finding the green ones on top. Another thing I will point out is the amount of puzzle dust is a lot higher than I think Cloudberries puzzles usually do have. Whether there's just more of it or because it's now a darker color, I'm not quite sure, but there is quite a lot on the table in front of me. I will say I don't usually sort the entire gradient puzzle like this straight out the bat. Usually I just pick out one color, complete that, and then move on to the next, and so on and so forth. But honestly, I just wanted to get all the boring sorting out of the way first so I can focus on the more fun putting the pieces together. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to very, very carefully move the separate color piles onto a separate foam board so that I can work on the edges. I like to have a nice clear space when I do a puzzle. I don't like it to feel super cluttered like this, so that's going to be my first step. Okay, so now that the table's a little more clear and all I have on it are the edge pieces, I'm going to make a start on putting them together. I will also note that even the edge piece cuts are really funky and different. You have some pieces that are really, really large, and then some edge pieces that are quite a bit smaller as well. And I think honestly, this is just going to make the edge process go even faster. Okay, so it just took me about 10 minutes to fully put together the edge, minus one of the little pinky pieces I am missing. I'm sure I will find that when I get to that color section. But other than that, it all went together pretty smoothly. I will say the really unique puzzle cut is throwing me off way more than I was expecting it to. You will notice that a lot of the edge pieces don't line up as you would normally expect them to. So you have to kind of just ignore the inner edge part really and just focus on the connection parts instead. But yeah, I really am enjoying just how unique this puzzle feels when comparing it to the traditional version of this puzzle. And I can attest to the fact that I have had no false fits so far during the edge process. But the next step is going to be to jump in and just get one of the color blocks done. And of course, I'm going to be biased and start with my favorite color, which is going to be the purple section. I am just over an hour into this puzzle. That section took me about 30 minutes total, and now I have completely finished the purple section. I cannot stress enough just how fun and unique this puzzle cut is. I have never ever done a puzzle like this. I'm sure there are other brands that have done this really mismatched puzzle design, but for me this is a totally new experience. It just makes the whole process of looking for the next missing piece just so much easier than it already is on a gradient puzzle regardless. But especially if it's a really unique, funky design around the edges, I can really clearly look to my puzzle pieces and spot it a mile off and just place it in so fast. Like honestly, I don't even want to talk too much more about this puzzle. I am enjoying it that much that I just want to get stuck into the pink and red section. So I am now 1 hour and 33 minutes into this puzzle, and I have pretty much exactly half of the puzzle complete at this point, and I cannot express just how fast it feels like I'm moving through this puzzle. I'll put some real-time footage here of me putting in pieces, but I'm finding because of the uniqueness of the color and shape of each and every piece, I'm basically picking up the exact correct piece each and every time. Obviously, usually when you're doing puzzles, you pick up a piece that you think it could be. It's a bit of trial and error. But in a lot of sections, I've just found that I'm literally picking up correct piece after correct piece. Honestly, it's just making me feel like such a pro at puzzling, and that's just such a fun feeling. And at this halfway point, I can 100% clarify that there has been not a single false fit in this puzzle so far. However, what I am noticing, if you look really up close at the puzzle in some of the corners of the pieces, you can see a little bit of white where the corners have lifted slightly. It's only noticeable when you're really up close to the puzzle, but it is just worth mentioning. And honestly, I don't think there's that much else to say about this puzzle. And right now I just want to get back into puzzling straight away. So I think my color order from now on is going to be blue next, and then working into this turquoisey green, and then pure green, and finishing with the yellows. So I'm just over 2 hours into this puzzle, and this is the final section that I have left to complete. I feel like I'm drowning in a sea of yellowy green. I don't know what it is about, maybe it's just my eyesight in particular, if you guys are the same, but I just really struggle to pick out the differences when it comes to this color in particular. So progress has definitely slowed down, but I am so close to finishing. And there you have it, one fully completed brand new gradient puzzle from Cloudberries in just under 2.5 hours, which for a first assembly of a 1,000-piece puzzle is very, very fast for me. I was a little concerned when I purchased this puzzle that it was going to be too similar to the gradient puzzle that I already owned from Cloudberries, but boy, it could not be further from that one. If you've done any Cloudberries puzzle before, then you'll know that their puzzle cut shape is very standard. There's no funky waves or anything usually, and this is obviously the complete opposite of that. I'm really glad that they've branched out and done something completely different to their traditional stuff. And if it wasn't blatantly obvious at this point already, I had such a blast putting this puzzle together. Especially after that 3,000-piece puzzle that I put together, which was obviously very difficult. This was a nice puzzle break for me. Yes, of course, it did get difficult in this section here, but that might just be a me problem. My eyes with this color, I just can't see the gradient differentiation. And I will say there was one false fit that I managed to get, but that might have been just because I'm really bad at the yellow and greens, so I'm not sure if I can completely blame Cloudberries for that, but honestly, one false fit in a gradient puzzle of this size is pretty good going. Now, would I recommend this puzzle to you guys watching this? Honestly, my honest answer right now, and just how big of a smile I have on my face, is yes, I would recommend it. In particular, if you really enjoy gradient puzzles, I really think you should consider adding this one to your collection. I can't express to you just how wildly unique and crazy this puzzle cut was, and it was so fun to put the pieces together that I'm actually considering buying more of the small batch puzzles in their collection. I'm not sure if I mentioned at the start of their video, but all of their puzzles within their new small batch series have the same crazy puzzle cut. Okay, so all that's left to do now is a pickup test, which I am very curious about with this puzzle cut in particular. The normal Cloudberries puzzles pass this no problem, but I have a feeling that this one's not going to be quite as sturdy. I can't even pick it up. It's falling apart. I can't even lift it. Trying to push it a little bit more together, but I really cannot lift this in one piece. It is just coming apart. Yeah, I don't think that passes the pickup test, unfortunately. Well, there's proof that it definitely does not pass the pickup test. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video. I don't think there's much point in putting this back together, so